Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rising Together, the inaugural gala event to raise funds and bring awareness to Phenix Gateway's mission to empower individuals with disabilities by providing career opportunities, education, hands-on experience, and mentorship. This is their first gala event, and look how many people came here tonight. That deserves a round of applause. Now, of course, you've all sat down, you've all gotten comfortable. What I need you to do is now stand up for the singing of our national anthem performed by a recent graduate of California Baptist University, Sophie Hepton.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
She almost blew the roof off this place. Well done, Sophie. Now, please remain standing for the delivery of the invocation by Phenix Gateway Board member Keith Gemmel.
Our Heavenly Father, we gather tonight with grateful hearts for the opportunity to support the Phenix Gateway Foundation. We thank Thee for the many young adults whose lives have been enriched through this inspired effort, for those with unique strengths and challenges who have gained confidence, independence, and new skills to help them thrive. Please bless this gala that it may strengthen the foundation of this remarkable program and open the door for even more lives to be uplifted. Bless those who give generously of their time, resources, and hearts to this cause. We're especially grateful for the kind and compassionate people gathered here this evening. Please help us all to carry forward the spirit of giving we feel tonight into our communities. We offer this prayer in the name of Thy Son, Jesus. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Now again, this is the inaugural event of Rising Together, and we are grateful and blessed to have so many special guests joining us this evening. As a standard protocol, we're going to ask those guests that as we call their names to stand, and please remain standing. And again, audience, please hold your applause until all have been announced. Former California State Senator Richard Roth, Riverside County Supervisor Yixtien Gutierrez, City of Moreno Valley Mayor Ulysses Cabrera, City of Riverside Council members Chuck Conder, Sean Mill, and Fire Chief Steve McKinster. City of San Bernardino Council member Theodore Sanchez. City of Redlands Council member Eddie Tejada. City of Grand Terrace Council member Michelle Sabino. Commander of the 362nd Recruiting Squadron, United States Air Force, Lieutenant Colonel Julianne Gillespie. Chair of the Riverside County Workforce Development Board, Jamil Dada. County of Riverside Housing and Workforce Solutions Director, Heidi Marshall. Riverside Community College District Trustee Jose Alcala and Chancellor Woldab Isak. Riverside Unified School District Superintendent Renee Hill. Thank you all for joining us this evening, and please give them a round of applause. I'd also like to recognize the several board members of Phenix Gateway, its founding group. Board members Keith Gamel, Heather Green, Nicole Rand, Molly Wiltshire, Secretary Jamie Ortiz, and Vice President Jeremy Shoemaker. Will you all please stand and be recognized? All right, you can stop being embarrassed now. Now, I know many of you may have your phones out ready to take pictures, but we do ask you to silence them, and more importantly, use them to spread the word. You can follow Phenix Gateway on social media and share your photos and memories tonight using the hashtag Phenix Gateway. Now, just as every good organization needs a strong leader, Phenix Gateway has a strong champion keeping this effort going. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the CEO of Phenix Technology and the president of Phenix Gateway, Angel Sanchez Jr.
First, let me begin by saying thank you to each of you for taking the time out of your busiest lives to join us today. I also want to thank our MC, Nicholas Adcock, our kick-ass DJ from Soundhouse Productions, Jamil Dada and the March Field Museum for providing us with this amazing establishment, and the group that made this all possible, especially Nicole Rand, Stacy Kramer, Evelyn Mendoza, and Ginger Esqueda. Each of which have worked tirelessly to create this special evening. And isn't this amazing? Can we give a round of applause to them? Several years ago, we set out to make a difference. Not in the world, not in a state, and not even in a city, just in one person's life. We believed that if we could help even one person step into their potential, it would be worth it. We also believed that by doing so, we would enhance the joy, the love, and the incredible culture we had already built at Phenix Technology. The first opportunity came in the form of a young man who had withdrawn from the world. He wore dark sunglasses and headphones to block out all of the noise. He had dropped out of high school, and he did not feel comfortable speaking with others, let alone working alongside them. He did not see a place for him in the workplace or even in society. But within a few weeks of working with us, something changed. Slowly, he began to smile more. He started engaging in conversations, joking with team members, and volunteering for tasks. He went on and finished high school. He got his driver's license. He even launched a second business. He's still with us, though. Today, he lives on his own and is one of the most social and charismatic people you will ever meet. That single spark changed his life, and it lit a fire in us. The fire became what we called the Opportunity for All program at Phenix Technology, a program built to embrace the talents of individuals with intellectual, developmental, and physical disabilities, people that are far too often underestimated and overlooked. And we didn't stop with that one success story. We created pathways. We helped launch inclusive job fairs with hundreds of people attending. We launched internships and workplace readiness workshops with an 80% placement rate outside of Phenix. We collaborated with educators, state and local agencies, service providers, nonprofits, and families. We advocated with our lawmakers, And most importantly, we worked side by side with other businesses to help them see what we already knew. Inclusive hiring is not charity. It's damn good business. Thank you. Now today, 33% of our workforce is neurodiverse. And I say with absolute pride, but because of that, not in spite of it, our company is thriving more than ever. But our efforts did not stop there. When the California School for the Deaf approached us, they likely expected us to offer some janitorial roles. But we saw something greater. We saw potential. We placed one of their students in our engineering department. Now, he started out not even knowing what an engineer does. But today, he's about to graduate as the CSDR valedictorian. He's also a 4-sport scholar athlete. You know, that little team that took the state championship for 3 years in a row? He's a member of their program. And this fall, he will attend the Rochester Institute of Technology to pursue a degree in mechanical engineering. An amazing story. But another student from that same school has been working in our marketing department. And she will be attending Gala University, a prestigious college in Washington, D.C., after graduation. Now, these are not just good stories. These are life transformations. And there are just a few lives among the hundreds that we have been able to touch in just a few years. But we knew that we could do more. So we created the Phenix Gateway, a nonprofit committed to scaling this work and expanding this impact. Our mission is simple: to create real, lasting opportunities for everyone. Now, don't just take it from me. Let us hear from the people whose lives have been forever changed by this work. Please enjoy this video.
They see things in ways we never thought possible. They understand concepts in ways we hadn't yet thought. We just had to give them space to be able to let themselves be seen.
It's about growth, it's about learning, it's about gaining new experiences. So for me, that's what I get out of it.
California, it's like 1 in 22 kids now are being diagnosed as being on the spectrum. So that's 1 in 22 kids. That's 1 in 22 moms and dads that you meet out there who are trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to help my son or daughter be as successful as they can possibly be?
Tell the tens of thousands of people who face incredible barriers to employment and to success that they don't have to. How stupid is it today that people of incredible talent and abilities are not being given opportunities? They have opportunity.
Okay, I'm done. No more question, please.
I'll add one more.
No, I'm done. Since she's been in this program, she has presented to be fearless. When she comes home, she's always talking about Phenix helmet, we do this, we do that. I am so proud of the person that you are. I'm so proud that you took this step the sky is the limit for you.
We met with different people, the different staff here, and noticed just how friendly everyone was and how they eased our concerns and said, it's okay, he's gonna be able to do it. They gave us a lot of positive encouragement. Oh my goodness, I see so much change in him. He worked so hard. The first day he was very scared. He wanted to run away and didn't want to work. But as the program went on, we noticed his confidence started building. He started to get excited for work. He started to get excited to build the helmets for the fire department. And I really saw his confidence build, and I'm so thrilled to see that change in my son. Thank you so much.
Great example of that is through a partnership that we established with American Medical Response.
Immediately I knew that I needed to partner with Phenix and with Opportunity for All program. An ambulance service is not the first place you might think of to place somebody who's neurodiverse. We brought him on December 4th. He's been with us for 2 months. And he's done an absolutely amazing job. He's never been late. He's never called off. The employees absolutely adore him. Plan going forward is to expand and hire some more individuals. There's an awful lot of opportunity to go out and educate the other folks that are in my position throughout the state about the benefits of the program.
Every single day, push through those barriers and grab somebody's hand and help them cross the street. It's your job now to take everything you've learned here, embrace all of the love and kindness that you learned here, grow, thrive, but bring people with you. Don't ever forget, this was a gift to you because we wanted you to be the ambassadors that will change this community.
What began as a single spark has grown into a movement. And it needs to be, because we serve a community of talented individuals who experience discrimination and exclusion at every level, and that should break our hearts. The unemployment rate for individuals with disabilities is not double the unemployment rate that you read. It's 79%. And that doesn't include underemployment. This is not just not unacceptable. This is unjust. Now, this isn't about doing feel-good work. This is about civil rights. This is about equity. This is about unlocking social mobility for entire families. And now, we need you. Not next year, not next month, tonight. Now, if you please turn to the back of your program, there is a QR code. We ask that you please use it. Of course, we'll always accept cash and checks. We ask you to give generously. Help us turn that spark into an inferno that lights the path forward, not just for one person, but for generations to come, because everybody deserves a chance to rise. Thank you again, and I hope you have the most wonderful of evenings.
Thank you, Angel, for that very powerful message. Now, I have to correct a real quick error, and I blame the fact that I feel like I'm about to get a buzz cut from the Wright brothers. And I failed to acknowledge a very special guest, also somebody that's also very special to me that joined us here this evening, and that is Riverside Community College District Trustee Virginia Blumenthal is also sitting back there as well. She's the kind of lady you don't want to get in trouble with, so I'm just... Virginia, we're good? Excellent, thank you. Now, back to Angel's message. These efforts do not happen alone, and it requires strong community partners to accomplish everything Angel spoke to. So I'd like to take a moment to thank our title sponsor, Yuhaviatum of the San Manuel Nation, and please enjoy this brief video.
We are your neighbors. We are your friends. We are Yuhaviatum of San Manuel Nation. Yuhaviatum. It means people of the pines, but it stands for so much more. This was a name known among our Mariam ancestors across the highlands, passes, valleys, and mountains. Yuhaviatam. It echoed before the arrival of European settlers, before Santos Manuel led his people into the San Bernardino Valley, long before we would be called the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians. Yuhaviatam. Today, its spirit lives on in all of us. We are stewards of the land. We act on our beliefs to build a brighter future for all. Yuhaviatam. This name is our own, spoken in our language and rooted in our traditions. It is forever part of our history. It is the heart and soul of our sovereignty. Yuhaviatam. It is a namesake we now reclaim for our ancestors and the generations to come. Because a name has power to honor a legacy, to unite a people, to inspire the future. Yuhaviatam. This is who we are. This is who we have always been. We are the people of the pines. We are Yuhaviatam of San Manuel Nation.
To share a few words on behalf of the Yuhaviatam Nation, I'd like to welcome up Marisa Aguilar.
I'm a little short. Good evening, everyone. Just thank you, Angel and Phenix Gateway, for all the work that you guys do in the community. To give a little history, I met Angel and Melissa years ago and was so inspired and impressed by the work that they were doing before the nonprofit started. And when I had the opportunity to join Yuhaviatam of San Manuel Nation as a sponsorships manager and share the story of everything that they've done and the lives that they've impacted, I couldn't be more grateful to be able to invite them in and work with the tribe and share their stories. So thank you all for being here. And thank you, Angel and Melissa, for all the work that you guys continue to do in the community. You know, the tribe has been very connected to the Inland Empire, but to be able to see everyone coming together and rising together and seeing all as one community. Thank you.
Thank you again for your partnership. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please remember to keep an eye on your silent auction items back there. Now, I perused it myself. I'm sure the rest of you did. I think I saw 2 different helicopter rides back there. Now, here's the question I might ask, because I think one's from AMR, and I know Jeremy's around here somewhere. I think the other one is from RPD. The question I might ask is, if one person gets both of them, can we do a race? Jeremy, where are you? Yeah? Yes, no? It's on. All right. I'll call the chief. We'll make it happen. Excellent. Okay. Well, make sure you keep an eye on that. The silent auction will close at 8:30, so make sure you get your bids in early. Now, please enjoy your dinner, and we'll see you again in a few minutes. Thank you all. So, we're coming to a very special part of this program because we believe it is important to hear from the individuals that are impacted the most and benefit the most from Phenix Gateway's work. Ladies and gentlemen, to share an important testimonial of how Phenix Gateway has changed their lives, please welcome Bonita and Brian Thorne.
Hello, hello. I'm Bonita Iwan, and I am Brian Thorne. I'm the father of Rainier. This is my son right here. And my son is deaf and autistic, and he loves Legos. He'll play and build anything, and he's done that since he was growing up. And then my daughter, she just graduated from RIT, and she loves drawing. She's done that her entire life, and she graduated with an animation degree. So this is my family, and we're all deaf. We are a deaf family. Temple Grayson, she is a famous autistic author, and she's written many books. And I love this particular quote. She says, "I'm different, but I'm not less." So Rainier, this is my son's sign name, his journey from childhood up is very unique. Even through today, he's minimally communicative. His expressive language is very slow, and it's been that way since birth. He's got his own pace, his own time. However, I have to let you know, he knows more than we think. Going through school, all of his teachers, they've always been amazed. I mean, teachers at first are very nervous because they don't know what to do with him because, again, he doesn't want to communicate in ASL. It's very minimal. But at the end, teachers are in love with him. They're fascinated by him, amazed at his thinking and his skills. And by the time he was in middle school, and he's gone through so many challenges, and one of them is bullying. And that shot his self-esteem. He really struggled with that and closed himself off. He lost his confidence in his identity, and we moved here in 2019. And when we were here, he graduated high school, and he was so excited. He was ready to go to community college. And so that fall, he went to community college. He was motivated and excited. Yes. So the following semester, the disability director called me in and had a meeting. And he said, "I'm sorry, but your son cannot continue with us because of his K-12 career. He had a one-on-one." Okay, let me back up a little bit. In the fall, he was very independent. He went to school. He was in digital media classes, and he smiled from ear to ear. He was so excited. I have some of the best pictures of him during that time. But again, this director said, "I'm sorry, he cannot continue because he'll never have a job for life." I mean, he said that directly to my face. And my son took it very hard because he wanted to continue to go into that school. I mean, he was only taking one class, but he wanted to go. But this is what it led to. I mean, talking about being deflated, it hurt him. I mean, he had a love for that community college, but he needed one-on-one support. But we weren't ready to give up. We kept searching and looking what was best for him until we were able to get in touch with DOR, Department of Rehab. And we had some serious conversations. And who did they refer us to? Exceed. And I have to tell you, that was the best thing that ever happened to us. Exceed led us to Opportunities for All, that particular program. And our theme is Possibilities for Breakthrough. And from day one, my son was so nervous. I mean, it was unknown for him. He didn't know what was going to be happening. And remember, prior to that was COVID. So it was, he was a challenge because he was autistic and he had trouble with communication. But what we were impressed with, from day one, and who was ever involved with that particular program, we were like, oh, okay, how are we going to communicate with him? Because remember, he didn't want to sign. He didn't use ASL, but there was a particular app, and it was called BIG, B-I-G. And do you know what happened? Every single one of those people downloaded that app. They really listened to exactly what my son needed, what his particular needs were, and they joined in. And really, we had to thank Raina for her continued support with that particular program. Oh, wait, go back. Yeah, so yes, we definitely went through some challenges. And, you know, my son didn't understand what employment was or supervisor. And so OFA was in the morning. He had some class time. He was learning about what a resume was, interviews, and it was awesome. And I will tell you, he struggled. He had to work at his own pace, and we had to be repetitive. And then he finally started making these connections so we could see some things working out for him. And we took it by step. And don't you know, he started working with Phenix and those fire helmets. And I'm telling you, he had the best job coach. And he was telling me and asking me questions like, what can we do? And I am telling you, he is very capable. He was telling me he is really smart and he could think. And we saw his self-esteem just build. Okay. One of the things you have to know with OFA, what we saw, the Opportunity for All program, it inspired us because we could see that they believed in possibilities of breakthrough, of acceptance, especially with him. We saw that with him working with fire helmets, with Phenix, with the Phenix fire helmets, that company. I mean, it wasn't only just that, but at home we saw improvements as well with communication. He was doing more around the house. We could see that he was doing his part with the community. And we saw that he was working on social skills. We saw improvement in every area. And so then the supervisor one day had to get in touch with me, and he said, you know, I have to let you know, your son has oily hair. So I told my son, you know what? You're going to work tomorrow, but you have to take a bath and wash your hair. Now remember, he is autistic, so independence and hygiene and things like that, those are a struggle. So I was telling him, tomorrow you're working, but your supervisor's not happy. And do you know what my son said? UANNOY me. Okay, that's cool. I get it. I said, well, your OILY hair annoys me. So a few minutes later, don't you know, he went and took a shower, and from then on, independence. So really, I have to thank OFA. And I have one more story I think that you all will love. You love stories, don't you? Okay, I think it was one summer. It was really hot, and the job coach contacted me, and he said, I have to let you know your son was disrespectful. He insulted another person. And my son, he uses that app again, remember? And his way of communicating, language, I have to talk about language, ASL, and some ASL language is different than English, so he typed to another person, to a coworker, and he said, she disgusts me. And I was like, what, really? Okay, I have to look into this because I need to know what happened prior to that. Like, what did the person do? Did something happen to my son? So, of course, I looked into it. It took a little bit of time. I had a discussion with my son. And I'm telling you, like, several hours later, I got some information. So what happened? There was a huge swamp fan in this particular building, and it was going around. And that particular person was standing right in front of it, blocking it. So my son was hot. He wanted to cool off as well because outside was 100 degrees. So he didn't have the capability to express himself, that he was frustrated. His mind couldn't process it. It was slower. So the only way he could tell his coworker was that particular sentence. So I had to tell my son, disgust is not the right word. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And he felt very guilty. So I had to tell him, next time, what do? You have to think of English. So say, please move away from the fan. So that's what you have to do, but it says, so he said, okay. So I have to think again from that app, big, his English has improved. So again, OFA, thank you so much for all you've done for my son. Again, his self-esteem, his motivation to work, his excitement, his first paycheck. He got paid, he was shocked. It's amazing to see the growth, amazing the community that you guys are working together. And finally, one of the things, this is something from our heart. I want to thank DOR, Exceed, the program, the coordinators, everybody that worked, this work specialists, the coaches, Phenix Gateway, the fire helmets, all of you, any of the people who are involved with this and involved with my son. And most of all, thank you, Angel, who makes this possible for these breakthroughs. I love you. Thank you so much.
Wow, amazing story. Thank you for sharing that with us. Now, if you're sensing a theme, it's that it takes many people to make all of this happen. It takes the team at OFA. It takes parents that care. It takes their children. It takes all the strategic partners that are joining us with us tonight. And the champions who believe that empowering neurodiverse and disabled individuals is both righteous and worthwhile. In that regard, we'd like to offer special recognition to key leaders who saw early on the value that Phenix Gateway could bring. To present our first awards, please welcome a board member for Phenix Gateway and an attorney with Blumenthal and Moore Law Offices, Heather Green. Heather, come on up, please.
Good evening. Tonight we gather not only to celebrate the mission of Phenix Gateway, but to honor the people and partners who have made it all possible. The journey from a bold idea to a life-changing nonprofit has only been possible because of the unwavering support, vision, and dedication of those who we recognize tonight. Each of our award recipients, whether it be an individual, business, or community organization, has played a pivotal role in the success and growth of Phenix Gateway. They've helped us build a movement that opens doors for individuals with intellectual, developmental, and physical disabilities. They have championed our programs, shared our mission, provided vital resources, and most importantly, they have believed in the power of opportunity for all. Throughout the night, we're going to be sharing many wonderful stories and acknowledging several key partners with awards. But these awards, they're more than just acknowledgments. They are our heartfelt thanks to those who continue to stand with us, rise with us, and help us create a better world through inclusion, empowerment, and community. Let's take a moment to recognize and celebrate the first of our outstanding honorees. But first, if we can get the representatives of the U of Vitam of San Manuel Nation and our president, Angel Sanchez, to join me on stage to help me present these awards. The script also says Angel Sanchez. I got told the script says Angel Sanchez. The Phenix Champion of Change Award is presented to a legislature whose leadership, advocacy, and policy efforts have significantly advanced opportunities for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. It honors a public servant who has gone beyond rhetoric to enact real, lasting change, removing barriers, expanding access to employment, and fostering inclusivity in the workforce. Tonight, we are honored to present this award to a decorated veteran, civic leader, and one of California's most respected advocates for inclusive policy. His dedication to public service spans decades. A retired U.S. Air Force Major General, he served his country with distinction for 32 years before turning his focus to state and local leadership. That same sense of duty and service carried into his time in the California State Senate, where he led with integrity, humility, and a firm commitment to equity. As a state senator, he authored impactful legislation such as SB 269, SB 251, and SB 748, all aimed at improving accessibility to individuals with disabilities, while also helping small businesses better understand and meet compliance. These bills reflect the core of his approach: practical solutions that create real opportunity. His leadership extended beyond the Capitol. He chaired the Senate Business and Professions and Economic Development Committee, where he helped shape the workforce policy that strengthened our economy and supported underrepresented communities. He served on numerous boards and commissions throughout his career, advocating for veterans, healthcare access, economic growth, and education. always with a people-first focus. Long before his time in elected office, he was already serving our region as chairman of the Greater Riverside Chamber of Commerce, helping local businesses grow and thrive. That same connection to community stayed with him throughout his Senate tenure, where he constantly and consistently offered to help carry our message, connect us with resources, and amplify our mission. While no longer in the California Senate due to term limits, he continues to make an impact at a local and state level. He has been one of Phenix Gateway's most trusted champions, always available, always supportive, and always asking, what can I do to help? His leadership, combined with his lived values of service and inclusion, make him the embodiment of what this award represents. Like the legendary Phenix, which rises to new heights, tonight's recipient has ignited transformation through his unwavering belief in power for opportunity for all. It is with deep appreciation and heartfelt respect that we present the 2025 Phenix Champion of Change Award to California State Senator Richard Roth. Congratulations again, Senator Roth. The Phenix Guardian of Learning Award is presented to an educational institution whose unwavering commitment to inclusion, career readiness, and lifelong learning has profoundly advanced opportunities for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. This award honors a partner whose dedication to nurturing and empowering students has strengthened our shared vision of a world where opportunity is accessible to all. Tonight, we are privileged to honor a school district that has not only embraced inclusive education, but has actively pioneered programs that prepare students with disabilities for meaningful, independent lives. Their commitment is evident through its robust special education services, supporting over 4,900 students with a range of needs. Their programs are designed to meet each student's unique potential, ensuring they receive a free and appropriate education in the least restrictive environment. One of the standout initiatives is the Workability Program, which offers high school students with disabilities comprehensive pre-employment skills training, employment placement, and follow-up services. This program provides students with real-world work experiences, vocational evaluations, and ongoing support, enabling them to transition successfully from school to the workforce. Complementing this is Project Team, which is Transition Education Adjustment Model, a life skills vocational program for young adults aged 19 to 22 with significant disabilities. Project Team focuses on community-based instruction, functional academics, and vocational training, providing students with hands-on experiences in real work environments. It is with profound gratitude and admiration that we present the 2025 Phenix Guardian of Learning Award to the Riverside Unified School District. And accepting the award is Superintendent Renee Hill and Special Education Program Specialist Angela Ralston.
Now, a friendly reminder that the silent auction is closing at 8:30, so make sure you go back and check to make sure that you are the highest bidder. Now, I'm gonna ask a question here because we are in the Marshfield Air Museum. I think I'm gonna ask my good friend Jamil, who's sitting in the corner over there, do you think we can add a silent auction item where there's a ride in the SR-71 Blackbird? Thumbs up? I think, yeah, okay. All right, I'm gonna just say yes and we'll see what happens. Okay. Okay, sounds good, I like it. Okay, now it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage our guest speaker. Joseph Matthews is a dedicated public servant and youth advocate who transformed his life journey from high school dropout to MBA graduate. His personal experience fuels a deep passion for helping others overcome challenges and achieve their full potential. In Riverside County, he oversees the Youth Commission and its youth advisory councils, focusing on leadership development, career readiness, and civic engagement. With a strong background in workforce and economic development, Joseph is committed to building thriving, inclusive communities where every individual has the opportunity to succeed. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Joseph Matthews.
All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Matthews, and I'm very excited, very happy, and honored to be here tonight. What I've learned about Phenix Technologies and Phenix Gateway has absolutely blown me away. And my life's passion, as they talked about a second ago, is helping the youth and uplifting the youth and making sure that everyone has a voice. So I'll go into my story, a little bit about why that's so important. But before that, just a little bit about myself. Currently, I'm the Riverside County Youth Commission Coordinator. I work with Riverside County Workforce Development. So I have some management here, some of my bosses. Hey, everybody. I'm on vacation because I bought a house and I'm moving all week. So if I'm a little tired, I was moving all day. Then I wanted to be here for this. So a lot of them were surprised when they saw me when I got here today because they didn't know I was speaking. So surprise, here I am. But also, I have been married 26 years. In June, I hit 26 years of marriage. My wife is at home unpacking, so I get to come and have fun, but I'm gonna owe her tomorrow because I'm sure I'm gonna have to lift and move something heavy, and that's just how it works. She unpacks, I pick, She points, I lift. That's our job. So I've been married 26 years. I have a 25-year-old son who graduated from University of Redlands. I have a 22-year-old daughter who still trying to figure out what she's doing in life. She's working, but doesn't really know, and that's perfectly fine. It takes everybody a different amount of time to get where they need to be. And I have a 17-year-old daughter who is an amazing artist and whose goal in life is to be an animator. She wants to do her own anime series on Netflix. She's a huge fan of all the crazy JoJo's and whatever, all the anime stuff that I know nothing about because I'm her dad and I'm old, and she just tells me, you won't understand. I'm like, okay. So that's me in a nutshell. Oh, and by the way, I'm a professional wrestler on the weekends. So that's my little tidbit. If you remember anything else about me, just think, oh, that's the wrestler guy who somehow was hired to work with the youth of Riverside County. And no, I don't body slam any of the kids, so yeah. So I want to make sure my bosses know that. So a little bit about me. Born and raised on the Morongo Indian Reservation. My dad's Native American, my mom is Mexican, my dad's mom is a little short Dutch-Irish lady. So I grew up on the Indian Reservation, and as you can tell, a little fairer skinned than most people out there. And I had blonde hair until I was about 15, then it finally turned brown. So growing up was difficult because on the reservation, I was treated differently because I was light-skinned. And then when I left the reservation to go to school, I was treated differently because I was an Indian. So I never really fit in either spot. So a lot of bullying, a lot of headache. And I grew up in a home where unfortunately there was a lot of abuse, substance abuse, alcohol abuse, you name it. Unfortunately, it was not a good situation. I won't go into details about it, but it was not good. So as I'm growing up, I get accepted to GATE, Gifted and Talented Education. Anyone who was born in the 70s knows about GATE. They changed it over the years. One person's like, I know that program. So I was in GATE, and then my mom and dad decided it was too difficult to wake up early because I had to catch an early bus to get to school. So I had to be on the bus an hour earlier because GATE was before school. And then they said, we don't want to wake up that early to put you on the early bus to go to school, so we're pulling you out of GATE. So at a very early age, I was shown that education was not important. It wasn't said that it wasn't important, but it was showed to me. And then when I got a little bit older and I started talking about, I want to go to college, even Mount San Jacinto College, the junior college right down the street, I was told, well, who's going to pay for that? Do you even have the grades for that? So I was told, again, education is not important. So of course, as you're in high school, you're like, well, if I'm not supposed to go to college, nobody thinks I'm gonna go to college, what do? I do what everybody else does. And I got involved in a lot of stuff I shouldn't have gotten involved in, and I ended up dropping out of high school. And as I'm being a knucklehead, and one of the main things, sorry, I should have started with this, that I wanna focus on is mentorship. Because I don't end up where I'm at without somebody there mentoring me along the way, which is essentially what this program is all about, right? Mentoring, teaching, helping, growing, reaching out to that person to help them realize their potential. So, getting back to my story, as I'm being a knucklehead kid and I drop out of high school, I have this best friend, Jared. I met him in 5th grade. His parents were essentially my parents. And I got in trouble. I was at a party, did some dumb stuff. In the middle of the night, I'm calling him to come pick me up because I'm in trouble. And he says, no, I'm done. We're not friends anymore. An hour later, he's showing up at my house to pick me up because his mom told him, you're picking him up. And the next day, Terry asked me, instead of like, you shouldn't be out partying, you shouldn't be out doing this, you shouldn't be out doing all these things, she just simply asked why. Why did you feel the need to go out and party like you did? Why did you feel the need to start the trouble that you started? Why did you feel the need to do that? And honestly, at the time, I didn't know. As you're older and you look back on it, you understand. But when you're younger, you're just like, I don't know, I just needed to. So that's something I realized later, but she just always poured into me. And it was never, you're a bad person, never telling me or limiting me. Instead, it was like, why did you feel the need to get in trouble at school? Why did you feel the need to say this to somebody, when there was a better way to handle it? And so she always just poured that love into me. Instead of blaming, pointing a finger, it was always like, hey, tell me what you were thinking when you did that. And sometimes I wasn't thinking. I'm like, well, okay, you need to learn how to think, Joe, because you're not supposed to do that. So fast forward another, year and a half, I'm getting in even more trouble. And a situation arose where I ended up at a police station. And I'm sitting in the car, I'm sitting in the police station. My uncle comes, picks me up. And as I'm coming out of the police station with my uncle, and I'm thinking, I got away with whatever it was I was doing. He walks one direction. My grandpa is sitting in his truck in a different area. And he's like, oh no, you're riding with grandpa on the way home. And I was like, I'll walk the 10 miles back to the house. I am not riding with the old man in his truck. And that was one of the toughest conversations I ever had, because he told me, I thought you were different than the rest of the family. I thought you were better than the rest of the family. Because unfortunately, if you have my last name on my reservation, you have a felony attached to it. You have a drug addiction attached to it. You have, a lot of bad things attached to your name. And my grandfather was one who was like, no, you're better than this. And I had a decision to make. And I have goosebumps even thinking about it, because what am I gonna do? Am I gonna continue down this path and disappoint my family, or am I gonna do something different? So my grandfather, after we have this long conversation, the next day I wake up and I literally drive to the recruit depot in Redlands. The only office that was open was the Marine Corps and the Navy. I'm not gonna lie, I walked right past the Marines. That's of course, Coast Guard wasn't there, Air Force wasn't there. It was too early, it was 9 a.m. Sorry, guys. Just kidding for all my Chairborne Rangers. Sorry, guys. I kid. I respect everybody who's a veteran, everyone who signed that blank check. Obviously, I'm a veteran too. I love you guys, first responders. I love all of you. Yeah. So I go and talk to the Navy guy. I take the ASVAB. A few months later, I had to clear a few things up. I had to go get my GED. I joined the Navy. And as I'm leaving the reservation, I started realizing I'm fighting with everybody. All of my friends are fighting with me. Everybody in the family's fighting with me. It's just anger, anger, anger. And I had to get off that reservation because I had 3 choices, death, prison, or leave. And that was the choices I had. And a lot of people have those choices. So I join the Navy. Right before I join the Navy, I meet my wife. this amazing, awesome girl from LA, and I'll tell you a quick story about it because I wish she was here. I thought I was kind of a big deal in my hometown. You know, I'm a Banning 8, which is like an LA 4. You know, yeah. So I meet my wife. I'm trying to throw every slick line I have at her, every move in the book, and she is just basically like, just go away. Just like, you're not even like worth my time. Or like she wasn't falling for it. Like I was like trying to tell her like, hey, look at the moon reflecting on the lake. Isn't that pretty? And she's like, yeah, it's a moon in the lake. So, wow. But it was different because that caused me to talk to her. And then I actually had a conversation with her. And then I was kind of like, okay, she's a little bit different than everybody I've ever known in my life because we can actually have a conversation. And she's smart and she's intelligent. She challenged me. She called me on my stuff, which that's the toughest thing when you're like, hey, and she's like, nah. And then into the first night, I'm like, hey, can I get a kiss? And she's like, I just met you. And again, I'm like, But obviously 26 years later, it worked out, you know. But all of this is just, it kind of leads into, it will lead into the mentoring, sorry. I'm just nervous, guys. Like this is something beyond. I'm just the guy who works with the kids. Like the stuff that you guys is doing is so far beyond what I get to do and it's where I want to do eventually. So I'm just honored to be here. So if I'm a little nervous, again. So anyways, I start growing up, I get married, I have a family, and I've never had an example. So I'm trying to figure stuff out, right? I had my first kid and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this thing? It stinks, it keeps spitting on me. I learned, and anybody in the military or first responders will probably learn that for some reason, if you have a newborn baby, they're allergic to a clean uniform, especially if you have a uniform inspection that day, or you learn not to get dressed for your uniform inspection until you get on the base. Because first time I had a uniform inspection, I'm wearing my dress blues, I'm holding my son. Now half of it's white because my son was like, oh, I don't like the smell of that. Yeah, so I go on the base, I'm terrified. Right? Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. My uniform's messed up. My senior chief's doing an inspection. He walks by, he looks at me, keeps going. He comes back and he's like, how old's your kid? And I was like, 2 months old. He's like, yeah, don't hold your kid when you have a uniform inspection. But he laughed, but he helped me through it because I'm a young man. I grew up in a home where like there was trust issues, let's just say that, between my parents. So I'm a young man, I'm newly married, I have a kid, I'm going out to sea for 2 weeks. I'm freaking out because I have all of this trauma from growing up that my wife's out doing stuff she shouldn't be doing. And so he's there helping me, like get through that. Like, hey, you're fine, you have a great family, bad things aren't happening, focus on the task at hand. So I had this person who walked me through that and got me through that as a young man and through that fear. And as I'm growing up more, that's another instance. And as I grow up more, I say grow up more, which is funny because I don't think I actually grew up till I hit my 30s. Because I'm still a big kid. I'm mid-40s and I'm still a giant child. That's why I love working with high schoolers. So I grow up more and I get to Tennessee. Let's just say I owned a business. There's a recession in 2008. I get to Tennessee. And I'm still trying to figure out how to be a husband and a father. We've been married 10 years, but when you don't have any examples, you're figuring it out, right? And sometimes you have a lot of people on the outside telling you, you need to be this, you need to be that, do this way, do that way. You're not good enough here, you're not good enough there, and you're freaking out because you don't know. Well, we moved to Tennessee, and my father-in-law told me, there's only 3 things I care about. Work hard, support your family, don't hurt my daughter and my grandkids, and love God, because he was a big time Christian. So I don't know if Christians are not in the room, but that's what they taught me, and that's all that mattered to him. There wasn't you have to make $100,000 a year. There wasn't here's all these goals or all these boxes you have to check. It's very simple. Just be a good person and support your family, and that's all you gotta do. And those 4 years I spent in Tennessee with my father-in-law, living an hour away, he'd stop by once a week, buy us some hot and readies and hang out. That was some of the best mentorship because all that pressure was gone. It was just go and learn and be yourself. And so I get a degree, come back to California. I got a job with my tribe running Morongo Tribal TANF. Well, not running TANF, but overseeing programming for 8 years with the tribe, which was an amazing opportunity. And the whole time I'm still growing, I'm still having people pour into me. And this is like a changing moment in my life. I go to Buffalo, New York for Fatherhood is Sacred training. It's one of the most amazing trainings possible. If you guys can look into it, it's Native American Fatherhood and Families Association. I absolutely swear by this training and curriculum with working with families and working with people. I go to Buffalo, New York. I meet my mentor, the mentor in my life, Mr. Al Pulley. And we're in Buffalo. It's just me and him. Everyone else there lives in Buffalo, so they didn't want to hang out. We're hanging out at this hotel for like 5 days. I'm dragging him all over Buffalo sightseeing because he's bored. And I'm like, come on, let's go look at the football stadium. Let's go to Anchor Bar where they invented hot wings. And I go and order buffalo wings at Anchor Bar, and they go, you're in Buffalo. We just call them hot wings. Sorry. So I'm like, well, can I get hot wings? And she's like, what flavor? And I went, hot. And then the waitress walks away, and Al looks at me and he goes, I'm not eating our food. Like, you can go ahead and eat that meal. Like, she's gonna do something to our plate. Yeah. But as I'm talking to him, and I'm explaining like my childhood, I'm explaining my life, I'm explaining all these difficulties I've had. And Al Pulley taught me 2 things that day. One, if everybody around you has a problem, maybe everyone around you isn't the problem. Maybe you're the problem. And 2, all the anger I had for all the people in my life, my mom, my dad, my grandparents, all the people who had harmed me when I was younger, and just didn't care for me in the way I felt like I needed to be cared for. He said they did the best they could with what they had. Because if you come from a Native American family, a background, especially here, West Coast, we have missions. So where did my grandfather grow up? When he was a young man, he was put into a boarding school. His hair was cut. He wasn't allowed to speak his language. He wasn't taught love. He was taught discipline. Do what you're told or discipline. So how did you raise my dad? How did my dad raise me? Same way, right? And in that night over hot wings in Buffalo, not buffalo wings, I learned a valuable lesson. And I forgave my parents. And instantly, so much went away in my life. Like it was just like a moment of clarity. Because, yeah, they knew what they, once I learned what they had or what they went through, I let it go because they did the best they could with what they had. And so I know I went long-winded. I'm sorry, guys. There's a lot more to the story. I tried to keep it as short as possible. I'll wrap up in like 2 minutes, I promise. So the power of mentorship, which is the main thing I was talking about, and I wanted to get to Al Pulley, was he reached out and he helped me. And Terry Hale, when I was a child, reached out and helped me. And there are so many people in the world who reached out and they were the ones who helped me, that when we think of mentorship, sometimes we think of it professionally. And that's mentorship, right? Peer-to-peer mentorship, or I'm your boss and I'm helping you. But you don't realize that mentorship is simply just being nice to somebody. Mentorship is just simply caring for somebody. Mentorship is simply just reaching out and saying, hey, do you need help? Let me help you figure this out. And mentorship is really just opening up your heart to somebody else and providing them with something. And it could be one time or it could be long-term. And that's what people did for me. There's long-term mentors and there's mentors who very briefly came into my life. And that's one of the most important things I wanted to share with you, is that you never know who you're mentoring. You never know who you're affecting. And don't ever, ever, ever think that one conversation is not important, because every single conversation you have and every single person you run into is an opportunity for mentorship and an opportunity for you to provide something good in somebody's life. It doesn't cost anything to be polite. It doesn't cost anything to be nice. And all it costs and the benefit is immeasurable. So again, guys, I know I went long, but thank you for your time and thank you for everything and thank you for allowing me to be here.
It is 8:30. The silent auction is about to close if it hasn't done so already. Now, here's what I want you to do, is that if you didn't win that prize that you bid on, I want you to open the white box that's sitting on the table in front of you, and I want you to drown your sorrows in that cupcake they've generously provided. So, Help yourselves with that. And then one other thing before we get back to our program is I want to, of course, acknowledge the wonderful team that's put on all of this. Let's give it up for the team at Phenix Gateway, Phenix Technologies. We have more key champions and leaders that we wish to recognize tonight. Present our next honors. Please welcome board member with Phenix Gateway and the Director of External Affairs with Governor Gavin Newsom, Molly Wiltshire. Molly?
As I introduce our next honoree, will the representatives of PNC Bank and our president, Angel Sanchez, please join me on stage to help me present these next awards. Okay. The Phenix Trailblazer Award is presented to a business that believed in the mission of Phenix Gateway before most really knew it existed, and took bold, decisive action to prove that inclusive hiring is not only possible, but powerful. This award honors a partner that helped blaze the trail toward a more equitable workforce by hiring individuals with disabilities, setting an example for others to follow. They are a national leader in emergency medical services, providing compassionate care and rapid response in communities across the country. But here in Riverside County, they have distinguished themselves not only for excellence in public safety, but also for their leadership in building a more inclusive workplace. Long before inclusive hiring became a broader trend or best practice, this company was already walking the walk. They saw the potential in our participants. They believed in their skills, and most importantly, they acted. They were one of the first businesses to hire individuals through the Phenix Gateway program, giving meaningful employment opportunities to people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Their inclusive efforts do not stop at hiring. They embedded practices into a workplace culture that supports success for all employees. They provide clear role expectations, tailored onboarding support, and inclusive supervision strategies that create a welcoming and productive environment. They have proven that when businesses are willing to innovate and embrace diversity, everyone benefits. Their partnership with Phenix Gateway has been transformational. They have helped us prove what we have always believed, that individuals with disabilities bring dedication, capability, and value to the workplace. Their leadership has broken barriers and created a roadmap for other companies who want to make a difference. It is with immense pride and deep gratitude that we present the 2025 Phenix Trailblazer Award to AMR Riverside. For believing in our mission before it was fully formed, and for continuing to help us build a more inclusive future, one job at a time. Next, the Champion of Inclusion Award recognizes a business or community leader who has significantly advanced workforce inclusivity for individuals with disabilities. This year's recipient embodies that spirit not only in title, but in tireless action, courageous leadership, and unwavering belief in the value of every individual. We are honored to present this award to one of the most dedicated, passionate, and effective advocates we have ever had the privilege to work with. From the very beginning, she stood as a fierce champion of the same values we hold dear. She didn't just support our mission, she gave it a platform, elevated it, and brought others to the table. Through our partnership with the Inland Empire Disability Roundtables, we have united over 100 government agencies, businesses, nonprofits, service organizations, and individuals to foster real, meaningful conversations around disability inclusion in the workforce. She is one of the hardest working people we know, always pushing forward, always bringing others along, always looking for the next opportunity to build something better. She is a force behind the scenes, a voice in the room, and a hand extended in partnership. Her commitment is authentic, her impact is undeniable, and her advocacy relentless. It is with deep admiration and heartfelt gratitude that we present the 2025 Champion of Inclusion Award to Patricia Herrera of the State Council on Developmental Disabilities.
Now, here is a unique opportunity where you can help shape more opportunities for inclusivity. I'd like to ask Phenix Gateway President Angel Sanchez to share more details. Angel.
Thank you, Nick. All right, tonight I have the opportunity and pleasure of introducing something deeply personal, something born from love, remembrance, and a hope for a better future. The original Opportunity for All movement began with one belief, that everyone deserves a chance. That belief came from someone very, very close to my heart, my Aunt Lupe, my tia. Her name was Guadalupe Sanchez, but to me, she was simply Aunt Lupe. She was a kind, funny, full of joy, and was obsessed with Elvis and Farrah Fawcett, for those old enough to know who Farrah Fawcett is. She brought light into every room she entered, but despite all the love she gave and received, she was never given the opportunity to get an education, to pursue a career, or to live independently. She lived almost in her entire life with my grandmother, not because she lacked ability, but because society lacked vision. Aunt Lupe passed away in 1996, but her memory has been the spark behind so much of what we've done at Phenix, especially our commitment to building an inclusive workplace and opening doors for people with disabilities. That spark has changed hundreds of lives. And now it's time to take that legacy even further. Tonight, I am proud to announce the creation of the Lupe Sanchez Scholarship Program, a new initiative under Phenix Gateway dedicated to helping individuals with intellectual, developmental, or physical disabilities pursue higher education, vocational training, or trade certificates. This scholarship is more than tuition assistance. It's about restoring dignity, investing in potential, and honoring the journey so many were never allowed to take. Our goal is simple: to turn the barriers Aunt Lupe faced into bridges for others. Through this program, we will open doors that were closed to her and ensure that no one is denied the chance to learn, grow, and thrive. It's a tribute to her life, but more importantly, it's a call to action for all of us. To kick off this program, we're going to ask you again to give generously, and your support tonight will lay the foundation for future scholars and help us turn this vision into a reality. So if I can have my friend Leah, the Vice Chair for the Disability Commission, join me up here real quick, and she's going to knock it out of the park real quick, and she's going to offer a little bit of incentive. So Leah, come on up and join us.
So I just wanted to this is actually a very full circle moment for me, because when I first started working in the city of Riverside around autism inclusion, Nick introduced me to Angel, and I remember the very first time that we met each other, and I came home and told my husband about this man, and where's Melissa? Where is she? There. About the Sanchez's and how they had this absolutely beautiful vision for inclusion in the workplace, and why is that important to me? And I want you guys to share in this story as I tell it. Will you please join me? Will you stand to your feet if you personally are neurodivergent or know someone that is close to you that you personally love that is neurodivergent? Thank you for standing with me. You guys may be seated. Both of my sons were diagnosed about 2.5 years ago. They are They were 9 and 12 years old when they were diagnosed. I am getting emotional, but we love to come to these fundraisers, we love to come to these events, but at the end of the day, the most important part of what we're speaking about this evening is the opportunity for the betterment of individuals with disabilities, and specifically individuals that have any type of a developmental delay that are not being serviced appropriately, or we are not providing enough scaffolding for them to then transition into the workplace. Angel, my absolute favorite, went out of his way to make one individual feel welcomed and loved. And he said, you know what, from this grassroots, I'm gonna figure out, right, how to accommodate Patrick, which turned into an entire program, which he hasn't shared this yet, but he then funded out of his pocket. And then now he's saying, Leah, you know what, funding's drying up. I need the help from and support of our community. And so it is with my absolute full heart that I thank you, Angel, that we are all, everyone who stood up here, everyone who's in this room is packed because your vision is beautiful, because we stand behind you, and because we appreciate you for what you're doing for the betterment of our community. On that note, with this wonderful opportunity to give, we're gonna use the QR again. So when I ask you guys to give, can you guys pull that out? It's on the back of your program. And then may I please have someone in this room demonstrate for me how to donate $1,000? Show me. How do you do it? Anyone else? Thank you, Dr. Stewart. Anyone else that would like to demonstrate to me how to take that QR code out? Love you. And donate $1,000. We have $2,000. Anyone else? Is there anyone in here that would like to demonstrate for me how to donate $500? Anyone in this room? Silence? We have actually a really fun way for you guys to be able to donate tonight, and we actually have $500 for Disneyland. And so the way that this is gonna work is we're actually going to ask you to donate $100. And with that $100, what we'll do is we will raffle off that $500 for Disneyland. So again, if that's something that you guys would like to do, then you will take out your lovely, thank you, love it. You will take out your QR, you'll flip it around, and you'll take a picture, you'll go onto the link, and when you donate that $100, this timestamp will show up as a raffle for $500 for Disneyland. So would someone like to give me an example of how we're gonna do that? Thank you, thank you. I see lots of you guys with your phones out already. And so we'll just look for the timestamp, and then Angel will let them know after the fact who has won. Thank you guys so much.
I'd say I was going to take a 3-day nap to get over this, but no, Relay for Life is in 2 days, so we'll be walking a lot. Thank you, Leah. Thank you so much for that. I did want to say one thing, though. It is not just me that made this happen, but the family at Phenix Technology, who has invested incredibly in this program, in not only costs, but in sweat equity. We've done an amazing job as a company, and the entire family, Ray Russell and everyone that has been part of that journey is so, so appreciated. Thank you again for that, Leah. My Aunt Lupe is gonna be listening to some Elvis and enjoying every moment of this. So to present our final series of awards, I'd like to welcome to the stage from American Medical Response, the Vice President for Phenix Gateway, my buddy, my partner in crime, and I won't tell you what other people call us, Jeremy Shoemaker.
All right, what they call me is his work wife, but I'm not sure which one's the wife. I don't know. So, good evening. It's my distinct honor to recognize our final award recipients this evening. May I ask the representatives of Phenix Technology to join me on the stage to help present these awards.
We have a bunch. Nicole and Melissa, if you can join us, and Ray.
Yep. The Phenix Legacy Partner Award honors a long-standing institutional partner whose contributions have left a lasting, measurable impact on Phenix Gateway's mission. It recognizes not just support, but consistent collaboration, shared purpose, and transformational partnership over time. Tonight, we're honored to present this award to one of our most trusted and impactful allies. Simply put, our work would not be possible without them. From day one, they've stood beside us, offering more than encouragement. They've offered action. They've helped us to take vision and turn it into opportunity. Our work together is so frequent and so seamless, people often assume that we share the same building. From co-hosting job fairs and career readiness workshops to aligning hiring strategies and support services, they are there every step of the way, and they don't just show up, they lead with heart, with purpose, and with professionalism. They've proven that government can be an engine of positive change. Their team models exactly what a public institution should be: responsive, inclusive, relentlessly focused on outcomes that improve lives, and in our eyes, and in the eyes of our community, they set the gold standard. It's with immense gratitude and admiration that we present the 2025 Phenix Legacy Partner Award to the County of Riverside Workforce Development Department. Mr. Dada. Thank you for being a cornerstone of our success and a powerful force for opportunity in Riverside County. Next, the Phenix Guardian Award is presented to an exceptional organization that has stood beside Phenix Gateway since its inception, providing unwavering support, partnership, and dedication to our mission. Tonight, we are proud to honor an organization whose commitment to empowering individuals with disabilities has been instrumental in shaping our journey. It was through our partnership with them that Phenix Technology welcomed the first member of the Opportunity for All program, which eventually evolved into Phenix Gateway. From those early days when our vision was just taking shape, they stood with us, believing in our potential and supporting our efforts to create inclusive opportunities. As we reflect on our journey, we recognize that they have been more than a partner. They've been a foundational pillar in our mission to create a more inclusive and supportive community. Their unwavering support and shared commitment to our goals has been pivotal in our growth and success. It's with profound gratitude that we present the 2025 Phenix Guardian Award to Exceed. Thank you for your enduring partnership and for being a catalyst for positive change in our community. Congratulations to Exceed. Una más. The Phoenix Catalyst Award is presented to an individual organization whose financial generosity and unwavering support have been instrumental in advancing the mission of Phenix Gateway. Tonight, we are deeply honored to present this award to a community whose steadfast belief in action and service has helped elevate our work from the very beginning. This tribal nation has been more than a supporter. They've been a guiding force. Since our earliest days, this incredible nation has stood with us, believed in us, and invested in our shared vision of more inclusive world. In the Serrano language, Yawa is the call to act on one's beliefs. It's not just a word, it's a way of life. And it's exactly what the members of Phenix Gateway strive to embody every day. We are proud to partner in that spirit, standing united in purpose and bold in our commitment to create opportunity for all. They don't just speak of Yahweh, they live it with integrity and intention. Their impact can be seen in the lives touched, the communities uplifted, and the future they're helping to build with hundreds of nonprofits. It is with immense gratitude and deep respect that we present the 2025 Phoenix Catalyst Award to the Yehovatam of San Manuel Nation. Thank you for being kind, the kind of catalyst every community needs.
Actually, Jeremy, don't go very far. In fact, come back, my work wife. May I ask the members of the Phoenix Gateway Board to join me on stage real quick? All right, so this next award is not listed in your program tonight, and that is intentional. Sometimes the most meaningful recognitions are built from the heart, quietly built over time through shared effort, selfless service, and true friendship. The President's Award is reserved for someone who has gone above and beyond, not because they had to, but because they believed in the mission and wanted to help shape its future. It is for a partner who has stood with us not just in public, but behind the scenes, asking hard questions, offering thoughtful guidance, and helping us grow in ways we did not always expect, but we deeply, deeply needed. This year's honoree is someone who has volunteered her time to help us define and refine our strategic direction. She has challenged us to think bigger, to lead more intentionally, and to never lose sight of the impact we are striving to make. Through every milestone and every hurdle, she has been a trusted member and steady friend, offering wisdom, encouragement, and unwavering belief in our work. Professionally, she's a powerhouse, a respected nonprofit leader and CEO of the Inland Southern California United Way, where she works every day to address critical needs in education, income stability, housing, and health across our region. Her leadership has strengthened organizations, transformed systems, and improved lives throughout the Inland Empire. And she's humble, so she didn't know about this tonight. But to us at Phoenix Gateway, she is more than a leader. She is our family. She is someone who saw the potential in our work early on and chose to invest with it. And not just with money, but with time, with heart, and with brilliance. It is with immense respect, deep appreciation, and personal gratitude that I present the 2025 President's Award to my amazing friend and my mentor, Kimberly Stars.
Congratulations again to Kimberly for this well-deserved recognition. Now, some of you might not have been able to see it, but I could see it from my point of view. Her glasses were fogging up. I called it out right over there. All right, excellent. Now, we want to thank you all for being here at this wonderful presentation. Again, for the first time, they brought this event together. That deserves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And I gotta say, as somebody that comes from the chamber world, I'm incredibly proud of this one simple fact. We are out of here at 9 p.m., folks. I like it. I like it. Now, remember on your way out to check your silent auction items. Thank you all for joining us. Have a wonderful evening. Support the mission of Phenix Gateway. Thank you all. Drive home safely. Have a great night.